The blackness of space was silent, except for the faint hum of distant stars. In the far reaches of the galaxy, a fleet of alien ships drifted near their territory, scanning every signal, every movement. Their sensors picked up something unusual, a small, human warship moving with purpose and confidence. The aliens were puzzled. Humans were known as a primitive species. Their technology was thought to be slow, their weapons weak. Yet, this ship did not match what the aliens expected. It was different, precise, strong, and alive with activity. In the command chamber of the alien mothership, the scientists leaned over glowing panels, their eyes flickering with data streams. Their long fingers moved quickly across strange controls, trying to understand the humans. "It is unexpected," one alien whispered in a tone filled with confusion. Their language was a series of clicks and hums, but it carried the weight of fear. Another alien tilted its head. "How can a primitive species move so efficiently? Their ship is organized, intelligent." The fleet commander stepped forward, towering over the others. "Scan it. Every inch. Every being. I want to know what makes them capable. This cannot be a normal human vessel. Something is wrong." The scientists obeyed. Tiny drones detached from the mothership and floated silently toward the human ship. As they approached, the alien sensors began to hum loudly, displaying a detailed image of the ship's exterior. The hull looked ordinary, metal plates, engines, antennas, but the drones transmitted something more remarkable. Inside, humans moved about their tasks. One was repairing a panel that glowed red from a minor electrical fault. Another was checking the navigation console, tapping buttons in a rhythm that seemed simple but perfect. The aliens' eyes widened as they observed. They are working together," one alien muttered. "They communicate without a network. Their minds are connected in some way we do not understand." The humans were completely unaware of the hovering alien drones. They laughed quietly at a joke one engineer made, oblivious to the attention they were drawing. They moved with purpose but also with ease, performing complex tasks as if nothing could harm them. The aliens' nervousness grew. They had scanned hundreds of species before. They knew warships, technology, even military strategies. But this was different. Every movement, every decision the humans made seemed unpredictable. Their efficiency was almost creative. In the alien command chamber, one scientist tapped on a holographic display, enlarging the image of a human repairing the engine. "Look at this," they said. "He is using tools in a way we have never calculated. It is not logic. It is instinct, but perfect." The commander's antennae twitched. "Instinct? That is dangerous. Primitive species should follow patterns. This is dangerous." The drones moved closer, scanning the human crew more deeply. They measured strength, reflexes, coordination. Every detail was transmitted back to the alien mothership. And with every scan, the aliens' fear grew. "Commander, this cannot be right," one scientist said, their voice trembling. "The humans, they are evolving faster than our models predicted. Their reactions, their teamwork, it is beyond anything we have seen." The humans were unaware. They continued to move around their ship, sharing small jokes, repairing panels, checking sensors, and preparing for a routine mission. Yet, to the aliens, every action was a mystery. Each step they took seemed to carry a secret the aliens could not understand. The commander leaned closer to the main screen, focusing on the humans' faces. Their expressions were calm, almost cheerful. There was no fear, no hesitation, just confidence. Confidence that the aliens could not explain. "Start the full scan," the commander finally ordered. The words were slow, deliberate, heavy with apprehension. The scientists hesitated for a moment, then obeyed, activating the largest scanners. Beams of energy traced the hull, penetrating walls, peering into rooms, analyzing every human inside. As the beams reached the humans, the aliens held their breath. Their screens began to fill with complex data: bone structure, muscle density, brain activity, reaction patterns. They saw humans repairing systems in ways that no algorithm had ever predicted. They observed humans making decisions in seconds, faster than the best alien computers could calculate. One of the scientists, voice trembling with fear and awe, whispered, "This is not possible." The commander remained silent, staring at the screen. The humans laughed at a small spark that flew from a repair tool. They had no idea that their presence was shaking the minds of an entire alien fleet. And in that moment, the aliens realized something terrifying. They had underestimated humans, deeply, far more than any species before. The scan continued, but the initial shock was enough. The aliens could not comprehend what they were seeing. And the humans continued their day, unaware of the fear they had inspired across the stars. The alien scanners buzzed quietly as they continued to examine the human warship. Inside, the humans moved with purpose, unaware of the invisible eyes watching them. One of the engineers adjusted the control panel, and sparks flew, but he smiled and calmly reached for another tool. In seconds, the damage was repaired. The aliens observed, their long fingers hovering over controls, unable to understand how quickly the humans adapted. "They respond too fast," one scientist murmured. "No species should repair damage this quickly. No species should adapt without hesitation." The human captain walked through the ship's corridor, his boots clicking softly against the metal floor. He checked on his crew, gave small instructions, and moved on. Every decision he made seemed simple, but it coordinated the crew perfectly. The aliens watched, fascinated and unsettled. "They are organized," said another alien, eyes widening. "Not like other species. Their minds work together like one entity, but they are separate beings. How is this possible?" The scanners captured humans moving in patterns that defied prediction. One small human lifted a heavy panel without tools, twisting and turning it with precision. Another guided a small robot through a complex repair sequence. The alien screens filled with data, calculations, energy output, muscle strength, but none of it made sense. Humans were not the strongest nor the fastest, but every movement was perfect, as if instinct and intelligence were one. The aliens' whispers grew louder. "This cannot be. They are not just strong. They are clever, much cleverer than we imagine." A sudden alarm on the human ship went off. A minor system failure, nothing serious. The humans jumped into action, not panicking, not hesitating. One technician instructed another, who passed the instructions down the line. Within moments, the system was repaired. The aliens watched in shock, realizing the humans had not only fixed the problem, they had predicted the next fault before it occurred. "They think ahead," one scientist said, trembling. "They anticipate everything." The humans paused for a moment, exchanging small smiles. One of them said a word the aliens could not hear, and the crew laughed quietly. No fear, no hesitation, just confidence. The aliens stared at the screens, their antennae twitching nervously. The alien commander leaned closer. "They are dangerous," he said, "not because they are physically strong, but because they are unpredictable. We cannot calculate their moves. Every step they take, every action, it is a surprise." The scan continued deeper. The aliens saw the human brain's activity, its speed and complexity. The humans' thought patterns were unlike anything the aliens had studied. They solved problems instantly, coordinated with perfect timing, and even improvised solutions that no algorithm could predict. "They are not supposed to exist like this," a young alien whispered. "No species should combine instinct and reasoning this well. No species should be able to outthink us so easily." Meanwhile, the humans carried on, oblivious to the scrutiny. A team prepared a small craft for deployment, moving in perfect unison. They checked equipment, verified readings, and loaded supplies. Every motion seemed ordinary, but to the aliens, it was extraordinary. Every gesture, every glance, every step revealed a level of skill, coordination, and intelligence that shook the alien scientists to their core. "They are terrifying," one of the older scientists admitted, "not because they want to fight, but because they could. Their potential is limitless, and we cannot predict it." The alien commander nodded slowly. "We need to understand them better. Prepare full analysis. Every human, every system. I want to know why they are, how they are, why they can do what no species can." As the scanners probed the ship, the aliens noticed the humans' resilience. Small accidents occurred. Sparks flew. Systems flickered. But the humans adapted immediately. They did not panic. They did not freeze. They solved problems in ways the aliens could barely comprehend. It was not brute strength. It was intelligence, teamwork, and courage combined in a way that terrified the aliens. A sudden burst of laughter came from the human crew. One of them had joked about a tool that refused to work, and another had responded with a clever solution. The aliens froze, unsure how to interpret this behavior. They had never seen a species handle danger and humor at the same time. "They are fearless," whispered the young scientist. "They do not panic. They do not hesitate. They just act, and it works." The alien commander's eyes narrowed. "This is beyond any war strategy we have. If they wanted to, they could take entire fleets with cleverness alone. We must be careful. Underestimating them is no longer an option." Inside the ship, the humans completed their repairs and returned to their stations. The captain gave a small nod, and the crew smiled, satisfied with their work. They had no idea that across the void, an entire alien fleet was observing them, terrified and puzzled. The aliens continued to scan, and the more they saw, the more they realized that humans were unlike any other species. They were not the strongest. They were not the fastest. But they were smart, unpredictable, and unafraid. They could adapt to any situation, solve any problem, and survive against incredible odds. The scientists exchanged worried glances. One of them whispered again, "They are dangerous in a way no weapon can measure." And the humans, unaware of the attention, went about their day, repairing, planning, and preparing for missions with a quiet confidence that left the aliens in awe and fear. The alien scanners were still active, but now the humans began moving in ways the aliens could barely predict. A small warning light blinked on the human ship's control panel. Instantly, a team of engineers rushed over, not panicked, but focused. They worked together, as if they had done this 1,000 times before. One of the humans noticed a small pressure leak in the engine compartment. Without hesitation, he grabbed a tool, but it was broken. He looked around, then used a piece of scrap metal, bending it carefully to fix the problem. The aliens watched in disbelief. No species they knew could improvise like this under pressure. They adapt instantly," whispered an alien scientist. "No hesitation, no fear, just action. How can they think so fast?" Meanwhile, the human captain received a minor alert from a navigation system. He called over a crew member, gave a single instruction, and within seconds, the crew rerouted power, stabilized the system, and restored normal function. The aliens were shocked. Each human decision was deliberate yet unpredictable. It was as if they were dancing with danger, moving precisely while the universe threw obstacles at them. "They calculate, but also improvise," one alien muttered. "No species does both at the same time." The humans continued their routine, but small incidents kept arising. A small fire erupted in one compartment, and a human engineer grabbed a nearby extinguisher. But before he even aimed it, another human had already opened a vent to let smoke out, preventing further damage. The aliens could not comprehend the speed or coordination. "They are thinking ahead even before the problem occurs," said a nervous scientist. "It is like their minds are connected, yet they are separate beings. It is impossible." The alien commander's eyes narrowed. Every move they make is clever. Every action solves multiple problems at once. This is not just intelligence, this is strategy. They could fight an entire fleet with this kind of thinking. The humans' teamwork was seamless. They communicated with gestures, glances, and words, all in perfect harmony. A task that would take an alien team of 10 hours to complete, these humans did in minutes. And they did it calmly, even joking quietly among themselves. "They are fearless," said one scientist, his voice trembling. "Even when danger is real, they do not panic. They act, and it works." The aliens began to notice something even more disturbing. Humans did not just react. They predicted. One engineer noticed a minor pressure drop before the sensors even detected it. Another adjusted the controls to compensate for a fluctuation in the energy system before it caused any real harm. Every step, every action seemed perfectly timed, almost as if the humans could see the future. "They anticipate everything," said the young scientist. "No algorithm, no weapon, no plan could match this. They are beyond our calculations." As the aliens continued scanning, they discovered the human ship was not just a machine, it was a living system of minds working in harmony. Each human complemented the other. Where one lacked knowledge, another had insight. Where one hesitated, another acted. They were stronger together than any individual could be, and the aliens could not find a flaw. The humans, meanwhile, prepared a small drill for a routine test outside the ship. They moved efficiently, checking the equipment, verifying the calculations, and communicating with perfect timing. The alien screen showed their every move, and yet nothing seemed predictable. Every action was clever, creative, and efficient. "They are terrifying," admitted an alien scientist. "Not because they're physically strong, but because they think faster, adapt faster, and work together in ways we cannot predict. They are dangerous in a way we cannot fight." The commander leaned over the main console, his antennae twitching nervously. "We need to record everything, analyze everything. I do not want to underestimate them. They are beyond anything we expected." Suddenly, a minor emergency arose. The humans' drill outside the ship started malfunctioning due to a minor energy fluctuation. Instantly, 2 humans coordinated to stabilize it. One diverted energy manually, while the other adjusted the control settings, all within seconds. The aliens gasped. No species had ever solved a technical problem so quickly, so efficiently, without panic. They think like a single mind," whispered the young scientist. "But they are many minds. It is impossible." Inside the ship, the humans paused for a moment, exchanging glances and nods, almost silently acknowledging each other's work. Then they continued their mission as if nothing had happened. Calm, confident, fearless. The alien commander finally spoke, his voice low, but filled with respect and fear. "This is not a normal species. They are clever, fast, and unafraid. Every move they make teaches us we cannot predict them. They are more dangerous than any weapon, more dangerous than any fleet. They are humans." The aliens stared at the screens, unable to fully comprehend what they had seen. The humans continued their work, unaware that they were being watched, unaware that they had already rewritten the aliens' understanding of what a species could achieve. And in that quiet, endless space, one thing became clear. The humans were not just survivors. They were clever, coordinated, and fearless. And the aliens realized, with a chill running through them, that underestimating humans could be the greatest mistake in galactic history. The alien scanners had gathered massive amounts of data, but the more the aliens analyzed it, the more confused and frightened they became. Humans were unlike anything they had ever seen. Every skin revealed patterns of intelligence, bravery, and unpredictability that no algorithm could explain. Inside the alien command chamber, the lead scientist hovered over the main display. "Commander, they are not just clever, they are survivors. They have adapted to every environment, every threat, every challenge we know of, and they keep evolving." The commander's antennae twitched. "Show me their history," he demanded. The scientist activated a database, projecting images of planets, ancient battles, and human civilizations. The aliens watched in disbelief as humans survived disasters that would have destroyed any other species. They had fought deadly predators, harsh environments, and even each other, and yet they had endured. "They are resilient beyond reason," muttered a young scientist. "No species should survive so much and still be strong, intelligent, and coordinated. No species should continue improving after so many failures." The aliens' eyes widened as the scans focused on humans' past conflicts. They saw humans fighting superior numbers, using clever tactics to overcome opponents. They saw humans exploring planets others had abandoned, adapting tools and weapons to suit every challenge. The aliens realized that humans had a talent for turning weaknesses into advantages. "They use their weaknesses as strength," whispered another alien. "They are terrifying, not because they're strong, but because they think, adapt, and survive when all hope is lost." Meanwhile, Aboard the human ship, the crew carried on. They repaired equipment, checked navigation charts, and laughed quietly over minor mistakes. They were unaware of the alien attention or the fear they had inspired. Yet every small action humans took demonstrated courage, intelligence, and adaptability. The alien commander leaned closer to the main display. We must consider the worst-case scenario. If humans ever decide to fight, if they ever aim to conquer, no fleet, no weapon, no strategy can stop them. They do not fight like other species. They fight like humans, and that makes them unpredictable, dangerous, and unstoppable in ways we cannot calculate. The scientists exchanged nervous glances. One of them whispered, "They are masters of war, masters of survival, masters of adaptation, and they are still young as a species. Imagine what they will become." The aliens continued analyzing the humans' physical abilities. They were not as strong as most warrior species, but their resilience and endurance were remarkable. Even minor humans could survive injuries and extreme conditions that would kill others instantly. Their brains process information at astonishing speeds, allowing them to make split-second decisions that change the course of events. "They are masters of improvisation," said one scientist, almost trembling. "They do not need orders to act correctly. They understand the problem, see a solution, and act. And every time it works. They are unstoppable in their own way." The humans' coordination became even more apparent as they conducted a small drill in space. One human noticed a fluctuation in the ship's power supply. Before the alarm even sounded, the crew began adjusting systems, rerouting energy, and fixing minor malfunctions. The aliens observed, stunned. This level of foresight and coordination was unlike anything they had studied. "They anticipate," whispered scientists. "They do not react, they anticipate. They see the future in every move they make. No strategy we know can counter this." The alien commander's voice was low and serious. "We may have made a mistake underestimating them. They are not just another species. They are exceptional. If we confront them without caution, we risk total destruction." Even more disturbing to the aliens was the humans' fearlessness. The humans did not panic, hesitate, or show uncertainty. They approached every task with calm confidence, even when small accidents occurred. A tiny spark in the engine room could have triggered chaos on a weaker ship, but the humans adapted instantly. To the aliens, it was as if danger only sharpened their minds and skills. "They are fearless, clever, unstoppable," said the young scientist, voice shaking. "We thought we understood life in this galaxy, but humans change everything we know." On the human ship, the crew completed their drill and returned to normal operations. The captain gave a simple nod, and the crew smiled quietly, satisfied. They were unaware that an entire alien fleet was recording their every move, analyzing their abilities, and growing fearful with every second. The aliens realized that humans were more than survivors or warriors. They were a species that could change the balance of power in the galaxy. They were cleverer than any species, more adaptable than any fleet, and more unpredictable than any weapon. The commander turned to his team. "We will continue to observe, but we must prepare ourselves. Humans are unlike anything we have faced. They are dangerous, terrifying, and we cannot underestimate them ever again." As the alien fleet retreated slightly, the humans continued their routine. They repaired, laughed, planned, and moved forward, unaware, unafraid, and unstoppable in ways the aliens could barely comprehend. They left a mark on the minds of their observers. And in the cold, empty expanse of space, one truth became clear. Humans were not just another species. They were a force, intelligent, fearless, and unpredictable. And the aliens now knew, with a shiver of fear, that underestimating humans could be the gravest mistake any civilization could make. The alien fleet hovered silently, just outside the human ship's immediate range. Inside the command chamber, the aliens argued quietly but urgently. Every scientist and officer understood the gravity of what they had witnessed. Humans were not just clever, they were unpredictable, fearless, and fast. They could turn any small problem into an advantage. "We cannot attack them," one scientist said, antennae trembling. "If we do, we will lose." their strategy, their adaptability. It is beyond anything we have faced. Another shook his head. But we cannot let them go. They are dangerous. If we retreat now, they may expand, conquer, or evolve beyond control. The commander remained silent, observing the human ship on his display. Humans moved about normally, laughing quietly, repairing panels, and preparing for what seemed like a routine mission. They had no idea they were being watched, or that their abilities had terrified an entire alien fleet. "They are fearless," muttered a young scientist. "They do not hesitate. Every action they take is perfect. They are unpredictable. And worst of all, they succeed every time." The fleet commander's antennae twitched nervously. "We are facing a choice," he said finally. "We can attack, assuming they are weak, and risk complete disaster. Or we can retreat, admit we do not understand them, and observe. Either choice is dangerous, but we cannot underestimate them." Inside the human ship, a minor technical glitch occurred in one of the energy systems. Immediately, a human engineer noticed it, called out to his team, and within seconds, the problem was fixed. Another human had already rerouted power to prevent any further issue. The alien screen showed every move, and the scientists gasped. "They anticipate everything," one whispered, "even problems we would never expect." A debate erupted in the alien command chamber. Some argued humans were still a primitive species. They had weak bodies, no heavy weapons compared to alien fleets, no overwhelming firepower. Surely, they could be defeated or confronted directly. "No," said another scientist, voice rising. "Do you not see? They are cleverer than us. They coordinate without being connected by any network. They improvise, adapt, and survive. Their unpredictability is a weapon. Attack them and we may lose everything." The commander's eyes narrowed. "We cannot calculate their moves. No algorithm, no scanner, no simulation can predict what they will do. They are dangerous in a way we have never encountered." Meanwhile, the humans continued their work. A small crew was preparing a probe for a routine survey. One human noticed a pressure fluctuation before the sensors even detected it. Another adjusted controls immediately. The aliens watched helplessly as the humans solved problems that would have taken a fleet of alien engineers hours to fix. "They are unstoppable," whispered the young scientist. "Even small teams can overcome challenges that would destroy entire fleets." The aliens debated their next move, tension filling the chamber. Some urged an immediate retreat, fearing the humans' unpredictable skill. Others argued for a closer scan, a more aggressive test, believing the humans were weak. Each time, new data from the scanners proved the humans' capabilities far exceeded expectations. "They are not weak," said the commander finally, his voice low and serious. "They are clever, fast, coordinated, fearless, and unpredictable. We may be the first species to see this in our history. And if we confront them without extreme caution, it will be our last mistake." A minor emergency broke out on the human ship, a small fire in the engine compartment. Instantly, two humans jumped into action, putting out the fire while another rerouted energy to prevent a chain reaction. Every move was precise, perfectly timed, and successful. The aliens watched in disbelief. No fleet, no plan, no weapon could match such instinctive skill and coordination. "They are a living weapon," whispered one scientist, "and they do not even know it. They are fearless, creative, and unstoppable. We cannot challenge them directly." Inside the human ship, the crew completed their routine tasks, smiling quietly, unaware of the attention they had drawn. One human even joked about the fire, and the others laughed softly, their fearlessness shining through. To the aliens, it was almost maddening. The commander turned to his scientists. "We will not attack. We will retreat. We will observe. Humans are more dangerous than any weapon, more unpredictable than any fleet, and more capable than any species we have ever known. They are beyond our calculations. We must respect that, or we will pay the price." The alien fleet slowly moved away, keeping a safe distance, scanning continuously, yet not daring to engage. The humans carried on, repairing, laughing, and preparing for missions, completely unaware of the fear and respect they had inspired across the void of space. And as the fleet disappeared from view, one scientist whispered, almost in awe, "We have seen humans, and it has changed everything we know about the galaxy. They are clever, fearless, unstoppable. And if we ever face them directly, we may never survive." In the quiet of space, the humans continued their ordinary day. Yet, to the aliens, every move, every decision, every step was a revelation. Humans were no longer just another species. They were a force. And the aliens now understood that underestimating humans could be the greatest mistake in galactic history. The alien fleet drifted silently, keeping a cautious distance from the human ship. Inside their command chamber, the aliens reviewed the data they had collected. Every scan, every observation, had reinforced the same conclusion. Humans were unlike any species they had ever encountered. They were clever, fearless, and completely unpredictable. "They are more dangerous than any weapon," whispered one scientist, antennae trembling. "Their intelligence, their coordination, their courage, it is unmatched. They are unstoppable in ways we cannot understand." The commander remained silent for a long moment, staring at the screens that showed the humans moving through their ship. Repairs were being made, minor systems checked, and yet every action was precise, efficient, and smart. The humans laughed quietly among themselves, unaware of the alien eyes that followed their every move. "We will not attack them," the commander finally said, voice low but firm. "We will leave and observe. Underestimating humans would be the gravest mistake we could make. We must respect their potential, or we will regret it." The scientists nodded, though unease filled the room. They had never seen a species so ordinary and yet so extraordinary. Humans did not rely on brute strength. They did not have fleets or weapons that could rival the aliens. And yet, their cleverness, adaptability, and fearlessness made them a force unlike anything else in the galaxy. Meanwhile, the humans continued their routine, completely unaware of the attention they had drawn. A small spark flew from a repair tool, and one human quickly grabbed a nearby extinguisher, while another diverted power to prevent any further damage. Within seconds, the problem was solved, and the crew went back to their tasks. They moved, thought, and acted as if everything around them were normal. Even though unseen, their actions were shaking the confidence of an entire alien fleet. "They are fearless," muttered a young scientist, almost in awe. "Even when danger appears, they do not hesitate. They adapt, they survive, and they succeed. Every time." The alien scanners had revealed more than just technical skill. They had seen the human's mind at work, thinking ahead, improvising, predicting outcomes, and coordinating perfectly as a team. Every human complemented the others, covering weaknesses, amplifying strengths. No simulation, no plan, no prediction could match the human way of thinking. "They are exceptional," whispered another scientist. "Not just survivors, not just warriors, but masters at adaptation. If they ever choose to fight, no force in the galaxy could stand against them, and they might not even realize their own power." Back on the human ship, the crew completed a minor drill, double-checking the systems and smiling quietly. They joked softly with one another, their fearlessness evident in every movement. The aliens observed this with growing respect and fear. "They have no fear," said the commander quietly. "Fearless, clever, unstoppable. They are humans." As the fleet slowly moved away, keeping the humans at a safe distance, the aliens realized something terrifying. Humans had changed the way they thought about power, strategy, and survival. No species before had combined intelligence, adaptability, teamwork, and fearlessness in such a way. Humans were not just another species. They were a force that could alter the balance of the galaxy. Inside the human ship, the crew finished their routine tasks, completely unaware that they had inspired awe and fear across the stars. They continued their ordinary day, repairing, planning, and preparing for missions with calm confidence. To them, it was just another day. But to the aliens, every small action had meaning. Every decision, every glance, every laugh revealed a species that could not be calculated, predicted, or defeated easily. The humans had become a puzzle the aliens could not solve, a force they could not measure, and a species they could not underestimate. One scientist whispered, almost in reverence, We have seen humans, and the galaxy will never be the same. They are clever, fearless, and unstoppable. Any civilization that underestimates them will pay the price." The alien commander nodded, eyes fixed on the distant ship. "Humans are not just survivors. They are masters of strategy, courage, and adaptation. We must respect that, or we will regret it for generations. The galaxy has seen humans, and it will never be the same." The humans, still unaware, looked out of the ship's windows at the stars. They laughed quietly, checked equipment, and continued with their mission. Calm, confident, and fearless, they carried on as if nothing happened, unaware that their actions had changed the way an entire alien fleet saw the universe. And in the silent expanse of space, one truth became clear. Humans were not just another species. They were clever, unpredictable, fearless, and unstoppable. They were a force the galaxy had never seen before. And the aliens, once curious, now left in awe and fear, knew that underestimating humans would be the gravest mistake any civilization could ever make. The alien fleet had kept its distance, but curiosity still pulled them closer. Over days of observation, the aliens had learned much about humans. But no matter how much they studied, humans remained unpredictable. Their cleverness, adaptability, and fearlessness had already shaken the aliens' confidence, and now the fleet wondered, what else could this species do? Inside the human ship, the crew went about their daily routines. One engineer noticed a slight anomaly in the navigation system, a tiny deviation in their trajectory. Before an alarm could even sound, another crew member had adjusted the controls manually. Then the captain stepped in, calculating a correction so precise that the deviation was fixed almost before it began. The alien scanners lit up with every move. "They are too fast," whispered a young scientist. "Every time we predict an action, they move ahead. They are thinking several steps in advance, even for minor problems." The alien commander observed quietly, tension running through his antennae. "It is not just intelligence," he muttered. "It is instinct, coordination, creativity. They improvise and plan at the same time. No species can do this. They are extraordinary." Suddenly, a minor accident occurred outside the ship. One of the small probes they had launched collided with a floating piece of debris. Instantly, a human pilot navigated another craft to intercept it, avoiding disaster. Another human manually redirected the probe, ensuring it continued its mission. The aliens gasped. No fleet they had commanded could react so quickly, so accurately, under such pressure. "They are masters of adaptation," said a senior scientist, trembling. "Even when unforeseen problems appear, they solve them instantly. They are terrifying in their capabilities." Inside the human ship, the captain walked past a group of crew members and smiled at their teamwork. They had resolved the probe incident without hesitation or fear. To the humans, it was routine. To the aliens, it was proof that they were facing a species that could outthink and outmaneuver anyone, even without superior weapons. "They do not even know their own power," whispered the young scientist. "They are clever, coordinated, and fearless. They could challenge any fleet in the galaxy and win, and they are completely unaware of it." The alien commander leaned over the main console. "Prepare a new scan," he said. "We need to understand everything about them, their thought processes, their tactics, their instincts. We cannot underestimate humans again." As the scanners probed the humans more deeply, the aliens observed even more remarkable behavior. Humans had a way of solving problems that combined logic, creativity, and intuition. A minor engineering failure in one compartment was solved not by following a protocol, but by improvising tools, predicting consequences, and coordinating the team simultaneously. The aliens were stunned. "They are unlike anything we have ever studied," muttered a scientist. "Their intelligence is not only superior, it is flexible. They adapt instantly. They survive everything. They predict everything. They are humans." Meanwhile, the humans prepared for a routine exploration mission on a nearby moon. They checked equipment, verified readings, and laughed quietly about a minor miscalculation in their fuel estimates. Even small mistakes were handled calmly, with efficiency and teamwork that amazed the aliens. "They are fearless," whispered the young scientist again. "Even when things go wrong, they do not panic. They improvise, adapt, and succeed. Every single time. The alien commander turned to his team. "We have to retreat further," he said. "We cannot engage. We cannot underestimate them. If humans ever decide to fight, even in small numbers, they could defeat us. And they will do it with intelligence, coordination, and courage. We must respect that, or we will lose everything." Inside the human ship, the crew completed their preparations for the exploration mission. They left the ship in small craft, navigating the moon's rough terrain. Every movement was calculated, yet intuitive. Every decision was fast, clever, and precise. To the aliens, it was clear. Humans were not just survivors. They were masters of strategy, improvisation, and adaptation. "They are unstoppable," whispered scientist, voice shaking. "They are cleverer than any weapon, faster than any algorithm, braver than any species. They are humans, and we cannot predict them." The humans looked up at the stars, laughing quietly as they worked. They had no idea that their abilities had inspired awe, fear, and respect across the galaxy. Every move they made proved what the aliens had already learned. Humans were unlike any other species, unpredictable, clever, fearless, and extraordinary. And in that silent expanse of space, one truth became undeniable. Humans were not just another species. They were a force, a species that combined intelligence, courage, adaptability, and teamwork in ways the galaxy had never seen. The aliens now understood that any civilization that underestimated humans would face a danger far greater than they could imagine. Humans were extraordinary. Humans were unstoppable. And the galaxy had no choice but to take notice. The human ship had left the moon behind and was now heading toward a distant, uncharted asteroid belt. Inside, the crew moved with quiet confidence, unaware that an entire alien fleet still observed them from afar. The aliens were growing both frustrated and fascinated. No matter how much data they collected, humans remained unpredictable. One engineer noticed a tiny energy fluctuation in the ship's engines. Instantly, another crew member recalibrated the system, while a third double-checked the controls. The problem was solved before it even appeared as an alarm on the main panel. The aliens watched in stunned silence. "They think faster than we can measure," whispered a young scientist. "They solve problems before problems even exist. How is this possible?" The alien commander's antennae twitched nervously. "It is more than intelligence. It is instinct, creativity, teamwork, and courage combined. No species we know can do this. Humans are extraordinary." Meanwhile, a sudden meteor storm approached. Small rocks and debris hurtled toward the ship. The humans reacted instantly. One pilot maneuvered a shuttle to intercept the largest meteors, while another adjusted shields, and the crew coordinated reroutes to avoid collisions. Every action was precise, yet intuitive. The alien sensors recorded the chaos, and every move humans made was flawless. "They are fearless under danger," muttered a scientist. "Even when obstacles appear out of nowhere, they act. And it works. Every single time." Inside the human ship, the captain calmly assessed the situation. "Divert power to shields, reroute auxiliary engines, stabilize thrusters," he said. The crew responded instantly, performing their tasks in perfect harmony. Laughter and quiet chatter continued among them. To the humans, this was routine. To the aliens, it was terrifying. The alien scientists shared nervous glances. "We have seen their history, their battles, their survival skills," said one. "We have studied their intelligence, coordination, and courage. But now, even in a crisis, they do not hesitate. They adapt faster than any calculation. They are unstoppable." The commander nodded slowly. "We cannot confront them. We cannot predict them. Even minor challenges, and they succeed with ease. If humans ever choose to fight us, we would stand no chance. They are beyond our understanding." Meanwhile, the humans reached the edge of the asteroid belt. They had planned this route carefully, yet small adjustments were needed. One human noticed a pressure shift in the life support systems, another rerouted oxygen flow, and a third stabilized power fluctuations. Within moments, the minor issues were resolved. The alien sensors recorded every action, and every action was precise, clever, and perfectly timed. "They are Masters of survival, whispered a young scientist, trembling. Even small teams with minimal resources can overcome obstacles that would destroy entire fleets. They think, adapt, and act faster than any prediction we can make. The alien commander spoke quietly. Humans are not just survivors. They are strategists, engineers, explorers, and warriors all at once. And they are fearless, even in situations we would consider impossible. We must respect their potential, or face consequences we cannot survive. A small accident occurred. One asteroid narrowly grazed the ship's hull. Immediately, the human pilot adjusted the shields while the engineer stabilized the engines. The crew worked seamlessly, correcting trajectory, monitoring life support, and ensuring no damage occurred. The aliens watched in awe and fear. "They are extraordinary," muttered one scientist. "No species combines intelligence, courage, coordination, and improvisation like humans. They are beyond anything we imagined." The humans paused for a moment, exchanging glances and quiet nods. They smiled, acknowledging each other's skill, then continued navigating the asteroid field with calm efficiency. They had no idea that their actions were inspiring awe and fear across the galaxy. The alien commander leaned back, antennae twitching. "We have underestimated them for too long. Humans are clever, fearless, unpredictable, and unstoppable. Any civilization that challenges them without respect will fail." As the human ship emerged from the asteroid belt, the crew continued their mission. They repaired, calculated, explored, and laughed, unaware of the alien eyes following them. But every small action had already rewritten the aliens' understanding of intelligence, bravery, and survival. And in the vast emptiness of space, one truth became undeniable. Humans were no longer just another species. They were clever, fearless, and unstoppable. They were a force that the galaxy cannot ignore, a species whose abilities inspired both awe and terror. Even the aliens, once confident in their power, now knew underestimating humans would be the gravest mistake any civilization could ever make.